One of the Americans who was in the mall with his family when the terrorist attack. He joins us now by phone. And Nick, take us back to that moment. You and your 2-year-old Julia are in a cafe, and your wife Lyndsay, who is 8 months pregnant, is a floor below when you hear the first explosion.
Yeah, so we just made a quick stop at the mall to pick up some food, and my wife Lyndsay went upstairs actually to do some shopping, and a couple minutes after she left, I just heard a loud explosion. Followed by a couple gunshots, and I was lucky enough to be right next to the door to the cafe. So I just immediately jumped up and grabbed my daughter and just ran across the mall away from the explosion as fast as I could.
So you run across. You've got your daughter Julia with you, and what happens next?
I followed a few people out. I think like a service exit of some kind towards the back of the mall. There's a wave of people came pushing back towards the building, I think running away from some shooting that was happening at the front. So we got pushed back into the building and up a flight of stairs, and when we ended up hiding out in an inventory room.
Your daughter must have been terrified.
You know, I think when we were running away from the initial explosion and then into hiding, she was definitely freaked out, but I have to say, once we got settled down and we're just waiting the situation out, she was incredibly brave.
That could calm you down a little bit, but meanwhile, your wife?
So, yeah, my wife and I were able to communicate on the phone, so that I knew that she had moved into a dark movie theater on the 3rd floor, and then eventually out onto the roof, and we were talking that whole time. And I also knew when she had been finally evacuated by some heroic plainclothes policemen who had secured the way out for them. So I was aware that she was safe, and she was aware that I was inside and was helping communicate our location to people who might be able to help.
And tell us of the moment when you finally were able to see each other again.
Yeah, so after I think about 3 hours is when we were finally rescued, and I ran down a driveway on the side of the mall and turned out to the street, and I knew exactly where she was waiting, and we just sort of ran towards each other and hugged. It was an incredibly emotional moment.
I can only imagine. So happy you all are back together, your family together this morning as this terrifying situation continues to unfold. Nick, thanks very much.